Hello, everyone. It is me, Ian. I did a live earlier, and it's kind of weird because it's taking them a really long time to load my stuff now. I think they thoroughly are going through my stuff, guys. They might be picking up on what I talk about. There's a really good spot right up there. You see that spot right there? At the very beginning? Yeah, look at what we get to do. We get to do zooming. So that is an interesting spot right there, guys. The spot is loaded. And other spots around here, but this one is showing us a lot right there, all in there. Especially that in particular reflection will be nice. Probably that reflection will be nice. Shall we just try playing this? Then let's do this. I think this volume should be down, so I'll go. And I'll talk a little bit while this is on, I guess. Let's see if I can keep it in the picture there. It's a bit of work to do that, but... So I hope you're kind of seeing some interest, because I've moved quite a bit, obviously, in the camera. So here I'm going to go to pause and bring us all the way back like that. But that's not who we're looking for here today. I talked earlier on a video saying that I would bring us into a nice set of finger glasses. I'm pretty sure it's on this video. I haven't re-looked, and we get to hunt for it together, and yeah, hopefully you can learn from it. Little beverage here. And hopefully this video is coming through good for you and it's not too much lagging or anything. In this in particular shot right now, you can see there's a lot going on. Like there's a bunch way up in here, some right here. They're all over the place, but those are a couple of heavier spots. That's that same heavy spot right there off to my right. Anyway, so red dot, we're going to be looking down somewhere around here. I don't know if this is into the spot just yet, but let's push play. And I was saying about YouTube there, and kind of by the title of what I did this thing for, is there's something going on where they're paying attention. Like, just, I keep telling people you're not noticing enough and you're not caring enough. I think we're going to be still a bit forward here, so I'm going to do a jump like that. Okay. Kind of thinking maybe here. So I'm going to go boink. And so that in particular spot, if that's going to be the one, it's hot. I know it's hot. I know a number of spots are hot around here, and people who are getting good at this little game are starting to realize that too, right? But this one is, if this is going to be the one, is because I'd see a pair of finger glasses going on in there. I'm almost already thinking, that's not the one. You can see action going on. Hey, random videos, how's it going? So I'm going to just hit pause again. Yes, everything's going good. It's Kaz, right on. So let me back up here a bit and continue pushing play, because I'm thinking I haven't honed in on the spot. I don't recall it being that high. I think it's going to be down here somewhere. Oh, maybe it's in this section right there. So let's hit pause. Doink. And go down here. I remember there was just some separation with some trees and stuff. I'm almost honing on. So we're looking for finger glasses. And I think that's going to be a set of finger glasses. Kaz, do you recall what finger glasses are? Basically, if you took a set of your two hands and you put them up to your fingers and just made two round circles, you get to pick that up on these guys. But they're not doing it on the sense of how we understand glasses. They're doing it on the sense of they're hiding amongst branches and such like that. So, yeah, so my red dot is just above them. If that's going to be the spot too. Should jump out fairly easy. It was really quite... So I'm already going to give up on that spot. Yeah, it was... I think it was tucked in behind... There we go. We're going to stop here now. You see this tree is here. There ends up being part of that big maple that's coming into the picture when I made them out. So maybe there now or something. I see they're very clever and are masters of camouflage technique. I'm glad you got them located. Yes, they are masters indeed. Yes, indeed. So I'm going to pause here then, because maybe it was like this close. Maybe I was doing a little inspection, because one thing that they will do is you see how this tree is here, and then there's more tree here. Like these are coming from tree. This is from a tree that's close to us, and this is in the background. So they obviously, or maybe not obviously, but see like right through there, you can see that. That's probably the stuff on the hillside, like these branches and trees and stuff. So in other words, you can see through this. They realize we're troubled through that and we get hung up on stuff because we're not hunters. We're just regular people, most of us. And so we don't realize, hey, is that a clump of them in that darkness? Is that a clump of them in that darkness? Is that a clump of them? And so you might see them heavier around a tree like that than maybe just out in the open like this. So that's why you get to see them right there pretty good, is because they feel really quite shaded into the back there, and they're not realizing, most likely they're not realizing how well they're actually being seen. So I'm going to just, okay, let me just zoom in here. I really wish I would have found that easy, or I hope I find it easy, let's say it that way. Have amazing eyes, thank you. You know, I've been doing it for a while now. It's some stuff. Okay, let me just bounce around a little bit. I'm not gonna think much about you guys, and I'm just gonna... Pretty sure they weren't down that way. Okay, where am I here? Yes, maybe it wasn't this short video. There's always a chance, because there was two that were uploaded that were short videos. And I looked at it long enough and I thought, okay, I'm going to be able to relocate that again and stuff. And if this happens to be a 2 minute, you know, the 2 minute and 7 second video, and then the other one that I erased, I think it was just under 2 minutes though. So let's see if we go over to here, go to my videos. And what is this? That's a 150. So like even this goofy stuff here you guys see on this in particular one that's right in the middle of there, the earth being ones. What I put that up for is, like, I took a couple of still photos and I can tell their monkey marks are on here because they exposed that piece of metal. which is the bolt going through for a totem pole, the respectful thing of a totem pole from the natives to the animals. And these beings will be, they do their thing on them. So anyways, you got to understand that was really painted. And when those guys bolted it all on and stuff, that paint was still all there and such. Like this barely skimmed the side. You can even see that, well, you go looking at it if you want yourself. That one I haven't released yet. So where is that 2 minute? Okay, so maybe it was the 2 minute one. So let's look at the 2 minute video. So I'm going to jump ahead here. But I don't have zoom on here. Okay, let me do this then. Hit pause, jump around a little bit, and see where we're getting some good footage. What I know I did think about is it was mostly up higher like this. So I'm going to hit slower. Let's just go to 1080 if it will do it. And I'm going to go slow speed. I do see them. It's going to be on this half of the page. I'd do a lot better too if I had good glasses. Imagine I would do a heck of a lot better. So I'm kind of looking around in these areas. For an in particular shot that got me. Your connection is... It is playing up, eh? Darn. I'm waiting to see your comments again. They scroll past so fast here. But you can kind of see some good clutters in there, I would imagine. Hey, Kaz. Anybody else who's out there? So here's the 08 one again. But with, you see the color kind of thing I've done on here? Should be coming up somewhere around here, because we're up around where I was talking about the trees over to the right here. What time are we at here? 107. Okay, now we're at the tree. Okay, for sure we're at the tree edge now. You see all this tree, right? I know that was in the picture. And then with me being able to zoom in on that in particular video would help give confirmation to people. So I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's, I was looking mostly there. But this is a different location now, isn't it? When we get out. Not even here, a little bit more into the video. I come right more. That looks so spooky. Wow. Oh my God, it's scary, those trees. Yes. I gotta get some better footage too. What I plan to do is I plan to kind of set up my camera, closer to us here on the fence that's near where I camp. And then hop the fence over in the corner, way over in the corner here, and then walk up into this area and just kind of hang out with my camera rolling and seeing their comfort zones and so on and so forth in that in particular situation. So that will be thrilling. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go, what about have a camera on the shoulder facing behind you? Yeah, I could do, You know, to do a camera like that on your back, they understand stuff, right? So you got to kind of think kind of maybe more of a way of a sleight of hand, right? You got to be a little bit more into trying to fool them sort of with their own game. So, no, that's the 207 one. So I'm thinking somewhere up around here. Yeah, that was that spot before. And this isn't the glass. This isn't the... I might be even totally off. It maybe is one of the shorter videos or something with that one. Because I remember now talking about this clump of them up here and just kind of pointing that out to people. So I'm wondering... Let me hit that back a bit. Go over here and I'll just investigate it a bit. See that guy right there, right? Those camera glasses are really good too. How well do they work? Like, are they, it's very convenient. Just press a button and it records straight away. Wow. Oh yeah, there's something there, all right. Something by big numbers. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here because I'm trying to hone in that one. Gonna be this clump in here. It's looking interesting anyways, isn't it? Let's do this. So I'm just gonna, so what are you at, 117? Let's bring it back a little bit. Hopefully I'm still in the same spot. It's not the one I'm talking about, because I know the one that I'm talking about stands out very well. So I must be off on my videos. That tree branch, is that broken by them? You know, all these, like, I don't know if you know me well, but basically these beings we're looking at, they are the farmers of the trees on Earth. They, you know, you hear about different beings around Earth and stuff. I can connect them. I now, my 3.5 year history here, I really can get the smart minds to connect off of what we think Bigfoot information is. Like, that's why I've changed right over to Earth beings now. Not to exclude, see the deer there? Not to exclude Bigfoot or the Sasquatch or the Yowie or Yeti or anything like that, but to kind of bring them together because they know a heck of a lot more about the hiddenness of the forests, even if they're not friends. You know, whoever the Bigfoot might be to the light source. Like, the light source is, you know, that you always kind of, people are relating more and more with these beings, is not glowing, is not eye shine, how so many people relate to it. It's a self-controlled glow energy that the beings have. Kandahar, oh really? What branches are broken by them are what you know, like I have explained to people. Do I give a good shot of that great big tree? Not in this in particular video. Where am I? Kandahar, eh? Wow. Okay, there I am on my videos. Let me show you. Yeah, like, there's something pretty interesting in here that you can kind of try to take on in mind. There's a number of clumps around them too, in all through these bushes here and stuff. Like actually, this right here, see all that stuff in here? This looks super interesting, but I can't zoom here. And I think it's actually coming from beyond the tree in the background, maybe connected as far as these trees are going there, and they're in amongst those trees there or whatever. But the visualness of them it's a weird thing for us to start to accept. So there, you see me right there on the edge at the top of my thing there. Could be something going on there, but I'm not talking about that so much. I want you to just focus in on this tree. You see this tree? See that branch that comes over like this and stuff, and so on and so forth? Well, this tree literally was way down here a couple of years ago, where it had all its branches doing things and stuff like that. And these beings with their energy straightened her out into a very nice straight tree. So if you want to, think about how crooked everything about her is. Every other thing. 99.9% of the rest is crooked except for the trunk and from about there. And that is information. So if you watch this tree and you walked up to it every day and stuff and studied the tree, you would start to see branches being snipped with certain cutting techniques that you could start to relate maybe around to other places and other trees and stuff, and so on and so forth. And it helps verify. There's lots to their farming. If you've noticed an influx of leaves, that's them you're noticing. An influx of these dandelions planted in certain places, because we do control against that kind of stuff. But these guys are planting them on this hill for a second year. I noticed that the numbers are just huge. Even where my camp is, I watched the farmers go by and do a spray, and then all the dandelions popped up. And I was wondering to myself, did they spray for dandelions? So maybe they didn't. Yeah, that's a little wobbly and stuff for sure, some of my stuff, but I'm kind of in a weird position here and blah blah blah. So right up in here, you see all above my head all that nice dark shadowing and stuff? There's a number of them in here. And if you have a big imagination and you think you start to see, okay, I can see certain patterns that I will kind of confirm with them, okay? Well, realize they're here too. See that mountain back here? They are here watching me right now make that video about this stuff. They're watching me from somewhere here too. From the other side of the river, from here. When you start to know that you become an interest, you can kind of start to know. And if the way that I've gone with this is I've studied in their house, in front of their face, their children, the little fine marks that they make and stuff. I've studied so much of them. They are very super curious where I'm taking it, I guess. And like the police, when the police leave, they will right away put a sign out of letting whatever. They will want others to know. And the police will go to their location and so on and so forth. Well, they got a whole understanding of what that entails. They have an understanding what it entails with the firemen. They have an understanding how the ambulance people, so on and so forth. They really have quite the understanding for us. So one thing I've done is I've broken through a lot of their code, and I don't know if anybody has to this point ever. I know I can't find anybody personally, and I'll talk to anybody on the subject. I have no issue to try to get them to listen to me, because I'll be saying a lot more than them. I don't want them just to tell me stories about, and then I bumped into this one, and then I seen this one, and then I seen that one, and I seen this structure. We don't have to have a discussion about whether we see something or their structures and stuff to actually have my conversation, because my conversation gets into the details of these trees and why all these flowers have come and why there's more leaves and why so many of these evergreens lose a lot of needles now and a lot of branches and a lot of inner growth. Like it's in a cycle right now in our region. In your region, you might be seeing that new growth is already kind of overtaken the tree, so it's not as hard hit. Because if you kind of look, say if you looked at those couple of trees just beside there, and just say they're busted up and ugly and stuff, and then you got close to them and you realize there's a lot of inner growth, and a lot of that long growth is broken and so on and so forth. Well, just keep watching it. You'll notice all that longer growth just disappear, and you'll notice that inner growth continue to grow out. And what that inner growth really is stemmed from the suckerism from the tree, not from the actual DNA kind of cord branches that come and stem from the center core of the tree. As the tree is growing, there's actually some kind of calculation going on with a tree. And these guys steal that calculation away. And our arborists and stuff are not thinking about evergreens back in the day when we first calculated them out 100 years ago and stuff. The evergreens would grow only about a foot a year. So when you're putting on a foot a year, you're putting on a fraction of that for the branches in width, and so on and so forth. And that's a foot a year, and a fraction a year. And if you really start to study into a lot of the evergreens, and even in the other trees, all the trees, just start thinking about their growing source and how and when, you'll start to realize, wow, they're in this mode now where they grow year round. Winter they do really well, because if you have a pretty wet place, they'll turn them on to just suck in tons of water, it seems like. Is it every tree? No. But you'll end up realizing there's a high density of stuff that's going on. And then, in a place like this park, you could go and study this building. You study the chain link fence around it and stuff, and you'll just start to realize that doesn't make sense, that chain link fence is kind of being scratched there and rust is coming through. Doesn't make sense, those dents up on the top of the roof. How did that happen? How did that gutter get pulled down? How are the bricks over here on the side getting chips in them and stuff, and scratch marks and stuff? Like, this is the process of what the man in the bubble right there does all the time. So there, we had a good chat about that. I just wanted to try to see your comments again. So if you do send the comments, oops, is that how I get the comments up? I can't remember. That's too shaky. See, it's even too shaky for me. This is me squawking right there. Like, that was a couple of days, 5 days back. I would, I don't know if I was thinking about maybe through a live doing that when I have a new good connection. But if you really get into, Kaz, what you were feeling, you're really seeing well there and such. Yeah, in this particular video off on the left here, off this way, we'll, what do we say? Like, even these lights are most likely them, you guys. Or, see these flashes right there? Right there? Right there, especially the ones that are getting really low. You might see something in here and down there. That one right there. That right there, that dot right there in my left corner there, you could study that. Oops. Anything that appears under me, starting from about that corner one right there. And anything, yeah, you see that one bounced out there? I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. But yeah, and you go in there and you study the light, you actually will end up realizing that their source of energy that they use for light is different than our electrical energy that we use for light. Even though I guess we got different gases, I guess, that they use in headlights compared to houses and such. But I know one thing. You see that one that's staying on quite a bit now under me? You know, what's that all about? Is that a house back there all of a sudden that is keeping the light on? You know what I mean? There's the place back there or whatever. We cannot see any houses from that or anything. I mean, yeah, we can't see any houses or anything. Like you guys are seeing the road, and this is the last. You see some roofs a little bit and stuff here. And if you went in, you could find this video in daylight and get a good comparison and understanding of, you know, this is where the sun sets. I do in a few videos where the sun comes setting down there and such. And so that one right there is 100% right there. The glowing energy just below me there. And when you're standing there and you're willing to kind of see that one flashing, eh? It's supposed to be from some cars. You see that car that just drove by? Now, the flash one was not as high as that, if I recall properly. And it's kind of really weird because the lights are pointing forwards or downwards. There is a street over there. The street is somewhere around here where it just tees off, okay? So there can be. And then there are some streets up here. So they'll shoot super beams from up here where I just know they can't really be from cars, and I watch so much and stuff. And then you got these big trees, and you end up realizing they're in these trees right here. Like the brush, now that it's this time of year, they're right there and doing noises where I'm just, trust me, I'm just trying not to be freaked out, where I know they're just within feet and they're doing like, ooh, and they're really playing with the wind noises and stuff, where they're doing this, you know, really kooky kind of, you know, behave. I tickled my throat there. Behavior and stuff. And I kid you not, man, it's freaky sometimes. I think right here off the beginning, you see all those flashes going and stuff? Because I'm moving. So it's an excuse. They feel it's okay to put on more of a light show when that's going on. So understand this. So that one right there, I can tell at the nighttime if that one is far or close to me compared to, say, this one over here. I can tell. I'm not necessarily saying there's one there. I'm just using this as an example. Say there's one, because they are in these couple of trees right here that are very close to me. But you can see that. That's the guy flashing so much right around there or something. I'll just keep above that. Yeah, different colors and so on and so forth. And that's supposed to be car work. But where are all those cars? There's one. And if you connected those couple of flashes with the car and stuff, you might go, fail. Those weren't the lights. That was you. I get you for sure. That's what I'm trying to get you to kind of be aware of. Because they're not fair to humans. Like, they're making people fight. Neighbors and stuff, big time. Police, especially up in the, you know, Alaska, state patrol and stuff, where there's a lot of guns and guys are all hunters and everybody's got guns in their cars and at home and so on and so forth. Those guys are really getting the fool's end of gunshot noises, because these guys have really figured out that tree whacking to mimic, you know, whatever they got, whether they got the two sticks in their hands or they're using a tree and one of their favorite sticks or whatever type thing. But I've been listening, and I've heard many, many times where I'm questioning, that sounds so much like a gun, but I know it's not. And then as of recent is when I really got the explosion of realizing up in Alaska how they're really pulling it over on those cops up there. Over the last 6 months, I've done a heck of amount of a study for that, and yeah, it's just crazy what these guys are doing, guys. And so they're, you know, there's big stuff here, and like I have to hold myself back from dating it super far for you. I can date it super far. And there's no sense doing that yet. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm bugged a lot because it's really, you're so on your own. You're so on your own, you kind of, see, yeah, what we should be 6 watching, right on. So, this is the ultimate video of videos. Let's put this one on high, and then I'm going to put it on slow speed. Volume's off still, right? There. Sorry if the volume was bugging you guys. So, watching this area in here, back in here, guys, I'm going to hit a little bit of a rewind there because I like the height I was kind of doing. It was before I stepped up there, right? So, maybe right even there. I don't know if that's anybody beside me there. Like, even little like that could be something, right? Like, there's little. Right in there is looking pretty hot and stuff. That is the hot area, even right there and stuff. So I'm going to jump ahead to here. It's just starting to become really, really hot. See all in here and stuff. So I haven't really looked at that. I'm going to go back and look at that in a second, because this is the main subject spot where I always go. And this is 217. Yeah, so I mean 117 is kind of the best spot or best time for starting. And then you get them in here for over 2 minutes. It's in slow motion right now. Whoops. And you see this stick right there? That's an important stick, that one that's a banana curve. Because that stick gets tree shine on it, or sunshine on it, and it's in between me and the camera and the being. And it kind of covers so you never get to see his mouth. Every time I watch, and I've done tons of zooms in and stuff, you never get to see his mouth. So now you're getting to see him really well. There's the head just below me. See that really well there? It's below me. And then, this is other things. These are other beings. Like that might be the top of one's head there or something, or it could be the tree. Because see how much this tree branch is just so much like his color? So this is kind of like his shoulder and stuff. I think there's the big one wrapping his arm around him and stuff. And then there's littler ones down here and stuff. And one of the new things I've noticed is, look at me right there under me. See the bug-eyed guy? And I think there ends up being another bug-eyed guy I end up finding in here and stuff. But I really think they're bug-eyed. I've come across them in other videos now. Right down here. See him right there. Just barely see the top of his head. And his 2 eyes on either side of my red. Hopefully that comes back. If it doesn't, I'll rewind it again there. Meanwhile, you got that guy right there. See his head there? And his head looks different. He's a different look. So what are we at? Okay, right at 2 minutes is when the best look of him comes in. So I'll do a pause at 2 minutes. It's the best zoom. So, but for now, I'm just going to say see, he hopped down somewhere. I think he was in this section. The bug-eyed guy, he was somewhere there. I thought it was between here. Maybe it's down lower there. No, because you don't really see him now. So he's disappeared a little bit. He's gone and stuck his head down a little bit lower. Oh, there he is right there. See him starting to pop his head up a bit? Right there. And if you think about, no, your camera moved. Well, frig, man, you're not understanding how little the camera is actually moving. Or else these guys would be shooting all over the place. Check that out. It kind of almost looks like a hand to me. Because they use their hands as decoys and stuff. It could be a black row of eye. You know, instead of making out two eyes, it's a black row of them, you know. Like his two eyes are there and there. And the whole time you can tell the separation in his eyes, I say. Oh, so where do we at? Oh, so we're at 205. So let's just do this. And we'll get to see that awesome focus right now. Can I try a little bit more? So in this range anyways, you see it's a pretty good focus, right? And then here's where I'm saying, could that be a hand? And then follow it down to the left as an arm or something, maybe, yeah, no. And then right there, bug-eyed guy. And then maybe some more and other stuff going on. But this is the presentation of unbelievableness. People can argue this and the bug-eyed guy and stuff. This is education for people who are willing to explore that region yet. Like, it's tough. This guy here gives you Sasquatch size, color, spookiness and stuff, but not exactly how we think a Sasquatch almost resembles a gorilla. You know, I think we're almost fooled a little bit, guys. So who knows where their look ends. So right here, the banana stick. So that one is closer to us and it's in the sun a little bit. You never get to see his mouth. You get to see his chin and stuff there. Get to see the row of his nose in the middle. Or I mean, make out his nose. 100% I say you can make out his nose in there. Well, you see that's his eye and eye. So his eye on that side and this one. Well, you see that little shine right there? You see that? Ding, ding, ding. It's kind of maybe above his eye or so. Well, 1 second after or before this, 1 or 2 seconds after or before, I always thought there was this stick, like a little needle, like one of these needles that falls out of the sky and goes down in there. And you get to see it. Well, I've done work now where I've paused it, and you get to see it in his eye twice. It's actually not something falling down, I believe. I believe it's part of the eye ability with glowing. And because he's got that little sheen there, it's almost like he added a sheen to it, dropped through, and then down here, you get to see it sheen again. So I did a frame by frame. Well, 2 frames side by side, I get to see 2 changes of the light right over that eye right there. And then the third frame, the next frame is all the way down here where I get to see the other light. So how do I get to see it in 2 frames immediately right there and then way down there again on the next frame or whatever? So I'm calling a trick on that light. I've done a video on it and stuff, but I'm going to do a little rewind and we will be able to see that happen. I'm going to go to, whoops, I can't see the number. 7. Or I'll go to 6. So here it'll be fast. Oh, so I'll turn that. Okay, so 57. So watch. Or maybe it's after that. There it is. Okay, so it is after. Okay, so it's exactly the 202, 201 region. So I'm going to do that again for us. Whoops. I always look at the wrong dial. There we go. Get that out of the way. And here it comes. Bang. About now. in slow-mo, so. Did I miss it? Oh, I'm sorry, I freaking missed it. So let me go a little bit further. There we go. So bang. Or, come on. There. You must have seen that, guys. Right there. One more time. Whoops. There we go. So we got 4 seconds, sort of. Whoops. So here it comes. There we go. You seen that? So it did it there, does it down there. The time doesn't equal up properly. It's part of the source of energy of the eye glow. That's the best representation for me. Maybe, that the source of energy is in the eye. That's a starting point for sure. My very first experience anyways. And I've had tons of experiences, but to be able to catch information on video, that this glowing energy that I was pointing out a minute ago in those other videos, you know, on those other ones, it's saying one thing. We can study in and realize those are weird sources of light and so on and so forth, but that one there, people should be able to be wise enough. The wise people are out there, real studiers, real scientists minded and stuff, should be able to be open-minded enough to see that head of a being and then want to examine that light energy going on there. So guys, this is kind of a neat one for a point for people to look at that beautiful work by them, eh? That's because they do things to alter the growth of the tree. So you'll start to realize that so much of that patternness is through their interaction with the trees. Because they're constantly marking them and stuff for growth, bending, breaking, topping, cutting. Like, they'll do major damage and just try to make it look like other animals. But anyways, the main reason I'm showing this one is so we can look at this. See this roadway here? Well, there was legitimately a big puddle that formed there. And it had to flow out, and it did flow out. I got to watch it. But what I'm showing, and you really can prove it to yourself, and so on and so forth, is this whole trail that ends up being fairly deep and stuff is all made by them. Trying to get a better shot of it. It's all made by them. And how you can tell is, you see, this is the road top. This is what the guy's hard packed finished and then drove away, and it went all the way across here. This, if you took a stick and put it across there, it's all, you'd be able to slide the stick up here, and it's not going to hit any bumps. It's not going to hit any bumps on this side. Nothing like that. But you see in here, you see where there's no gravel? Now think this to yourself and be serious. Where the F is the gravel? It's absolutely just taken away, guys. 100%. Even in this in particular video, I talk about how you can see it's when the guy slid this block into place. There's a little pile of gravel right there. When he slid this one into place, a real little pile of gravel there. So you slide these things around and they make a little pile of gravel. You slide a whole bunch of water through here and the gravel disappears. Is what us humans easily just accept. And the smart guys that don't accept it, they're just left with curiousness. This I explained in the video, you can see there's a machine that came up here, and this is all just messy stuff. That gravel from up 30, 40 feet would have never moved down there, you guys. And if you think so, you're not understanding the grade of this little hill. Slope, whatever you want to call it. And even on these blocks, everybody will just always think that it's just the machines that's chipping them away and stuff. You see that? All the gravel's gone, guys. And then they sit up there and they watch. So if we went like this, we might be able to see them if we went. Whoops. Oh yeah. See, I knew, you kind of get it. Like I don't give them anxiety. Maybe. I don't make them worry. Maybe. I don't upset them. So they feel comfortable enough to move in. And what you guys got to realize is they really can be super de-duper small. And they like to be in piles. They like to be in groups. They like to feel comfortable. It's very hard to get them to feel comfortable. So you can see just stuff around in places where you're gonna and just look and think. And once you get so comfortable watching the videos that I present and you start to realize there is a lot of action, then you don't have to know that they're there and they're there. You can watch my video and go, holy cow, and pick out that, well, I seen that one was standing there, Ian, and I could tell really well and stuff, and you point out that guy. This is the center of a clock. This is 3 o'clock. This is 9 o'clock. That's 12. This is 6. So if you wanted to, you go, say he is only right there. You say 3 o'clock shorthand, 3 o'clock longhand. You know what I mean? 9 o'clock longhand, 10 o'clock, whatever. Keep it simple. It's just going to be in that range. It doesn't have to be 10:15 or something, because, it's hard enough to really get to be able to see what's going on and so on and so forth anyways. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming out, guys. Oh, there they are. I turned them off. I didn't understand about the stick situation with the gravel. Well, the stick situation was almost like I was saying, it was a level platform. You could take that stick and use it as a level platform and scrape it along side to side. And I'm saying, where is the loose gravel that was in that made trench? Perfect. He got me then. And I think that probably finished it up. Man, this thing, I don't know why they don't allow it for us to be able to, what do you call it? Bring up those questions and stuff again. It's just a silly thing. This kind of looks like something right there, hey guys? Hidden in behind there. Maybe, maybe not. More over here or something. Peace out. More over here. Here. But I don't receive notifications when you upload your videos. Yeah. YouTube is kind of being a jerk, and so know this. I've got a lot in my video selection that you probably have not watched. And I don't do as much anymore because all that stuff is worthyable and studying. And I'm really trying to, lately I've been thinking a little bit different on trying to figure out what I feel it's maybe all about. You manually go? Awesome. That's awesome, Kaz. Thank you. It's the way to do it, eh? That's a pretty nice in close look, eh? So, like something like this, I don't know if you have the ability, but I got one of those little mag glasses that helps. And you can just go in and confirm and see if you see somebody little there or not. Because you never know, you could maybe see somebody's foot. Like, one thing that they do is they use their hands a fair amount in ways to cover their face, so on and so forth. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Second time tonight. Excuse me here. But, oh, cool. How to hunt. Yeah, whatever, whoever's saying that. But I was going to say that, what was I just going to say? I was going to say, oh yeah, I put up a video early. I did a live video earlier. I think it won't even be uploaded until tomorrow. They're not just uploading my stuff like they used to. It's not like my numbers are changing, nothing like that. If anything, like, I just got my check from Google for $111, and I don't know if it was 3 months, but it's at least 2 months pay. So yeah, that's really nice, eh? What's that, $55 a month? So it's kind of rough on YouTube. They're not treating me properly, if you ask me, and it almost seems like it's getting worse. And I don't talk all paranoid and stuff, so I don't necessarily know if they're thinking paranoid stuff. You see how that's changing a little bit? Watch how the shadowness of it maybe changes and stuff. So help me out by just, I don't know, whatever you can, like sharing and stuff. People end up feeling guilty and talk about money and stuff, and it's not. I'm not talking about money. Would I like money? Who wouldn't like money? Would most of my money, if not all of it, go into my just doing this research? I'd guarantee that pretty much, until I have an abundance to be able to live off of, and then I'd be able to do whatever with money, right? Maybe buy my kids something nice or something. Oh yeah, that's looking beautiful in there. I just like that look. Alrighty, peace out, guys. Don't forget that slow motion stuff. I hope you make millions from this. Thank you. Yeah, I hope we do too. Because then we'll be able to get this everywhere. Peace out.